The United Kingdom's Ministry of Defense latest intelligence update on Ukraine, August 18, 2023. On August 15, 2023, First Deputy Head of the Russian Presidential Administration, Sergei Kirienko made a high-profile visit to Donetsk in Russian-occupied eastern Ukraine. The purpose was to inspect schools and ensure their swift integration into the Kremlin's education system. This highlights Russia's priority of rapidly consolidating political and cultural control in occupied regions. In Zaporizhia Oblast, the occupation regime received direct orders from Moscow to implement new accreditation standards for schools. This suggests a centralized effort to bring educational institutions under tighter Russian oversight. The deployment of Russian state journalists to local media outlets in occupied areas also points to a concerted campaign by the Kremlin to dominate the information space. Furthermore, a newly revised Russian history textbook, set for distribution on September 1st, whitewashes Russia's special military operation in Ukraine while portraying Ukraine as a terrorist state. The textbook will be mandatory not only in occupied regions but throughout Russia. Taken together, these actions reveal the Kremlin's blueprint for systematically erasing Ukrainian identity and indoctrinating the population with a pro-Russian narrative. Russia aims to irreversibly transform the cultural, informational, and educational landscape in areas under its control. The Institute for the Study of War Russian Offensive Campaign Assessment. The Washington Post reported on August 17 that unnamed U.S. intelligence officials believe Ukraine's counteroffensive is unlikely to reach Melitopol or fully sever Russia's land bridge to Crimea. These anonymous assessments contradict recent optimistic remarks by Secretary of State Antony Blinken and should be treated with skepticism. Severing the land bridge does not inherently require capturing Melitopol. Ukrainian forces could interdict Russian ground lines of communication along the Sea of Azov coast through multiple methods, not just taking Melitopol. Even reaching within artillery range of the key logistics routes would severely disrupt Russia's ability to supply its forces in southern Ukraine. Furthermore, predictions that dense minefields and effective Russian defenses will halt Ukraine's advance underestimate Ukraine's tactical creativity and determination. Ukraine has repeatedly overcome stout Russian defenses throughout this war. Static assessments often fail to account for Ukraine's ability to adapt and innovate. While prudent to prepare for challenging fighting ahead, blithely dismissing Ukraine's chances of strategic gains risks becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy. Ukraine's counteroffensive chances cannot be reliably foretold this early. Much remains in flux. The coming weeks will reveal whether Ukraine can force a major Russian withdrawal from Kherson and outflank Russia's ground lines of communication. The Institute for the Study of War key takeaways today. It's too early to determine the overall outcome of Ukraine's ongoing counteroffensive operations across multiple fronts. Assessing their full success at this stage is premature. Ukrainian forces pressed ahead with offensive actions on at least 3 sectors on August 18, reportedly advancing farther near Robotyne in western Zaporizhia. This demonstrates the counteroffensive's momentum across a broad area. Russia is aggressively tightening control over domestic war coverage, threatening the credibility of Russian sources that have informed Western reporting. This could obscure battlefield realities going forward. A Ukrainian military spokesperson disputed Russian claims about repairing the strategically important Kherson Bridge, underscoring the importance of independent verification. Russian troops conducted limited offensive operations along several frontline areas on August 18, gaining ground in some locations. However, these localized gains do not offset Russia's broader strategic vulnerabilities. As the counteroffensive progresses, both sides will likely claim and exaggerate successes. Patience and rigorous verification of claims will be vital for accurately understanding events on the ground. The operational picture remains complex and fluid.